Hello. My name is Jenny, and I'm going to talk about a new book by Decimus Buglawton. Welcome once more to this fourth video on his new channel. And thank you for wanting to learn who the real bard was. I am sure you will not be disappointed. In the previous video, we looked at the artist who painted Sir Roger Wilbraham of Nantwich, Cheshire. The image on the right, painted by Marcus Gerards the Younger, who also painted Robert Devereux, Francis Drake, Sir Henry Neville, and Sir Henry Lee. Marcus was an unusual engraver and artist. He engraved images of women urinating. He also painted the full-length portrait of the physician William Paddy that has a hidden ewer image in it. Notice that the first syllable of the word urinating and a ewer are homophones. This might seem like a trivial observation, but it is not. It is at the very heart of the Shakespeare mystery. Let us now look at William Paddy, the subject of Gerhard's painting. William Paddy was allegedly Queen Elizabeth's physician. He had a school friend named Lancelot Andrews. Both of the words, use and ruse, are in his surname. So, Gerards, the artist, painted hidden ewers and his friend had ewers in his name. Are we supposed to just accept this strange coincidence at face value? Andrews was the Bishop of Chichester, Ely, and Winchester. On June 11, 1580, he was ordained a priest by William Chatterton, the Bishop of Chester. As catechist at his college, Andrews read lectures on the Decalogue. This word will crop up again in a moment. Chester is also in the county of Cheshire, and, just 20 miles away, we meet the clergyman, John Dod. John Dod's nickname was Decalogue Dod, and he may have a hidden ewer near his impossible thumb. His thumb literally stands out like a sore thumb. Is this another coincidence? The initials DOD is an abbreviation for Doctor of Divinity, a prestigious position which allegedly Dod turned down. By now, viewers should be getting suspicious. Where did John Dod preach? And what happened to him later? It turns out he was a preacher at Shocklatch and nearby Tilston Church, where there is a record of a John D spelled D-I-E. So what do we know about the village of Shocklatch? In the 16th century, salt was extracted from brine springs and Shocklatch, and it was produced alongside the River Dee. But the nearest main salt-producing town was Nantwich, just 8 miles from Shocklatch on the River Weaver. Nantwich is where Sir Roger Wilbraham was born, the wealthy landowner painted by Marcus Gerards the Younger. Wilbraham built the beautiful Dorfold Hall in Nantwich from about 1616, and his portrait still hangs there today. But what of John Dod and his impossible thumb? John Dod's wife's name was Anne Bound. This may be an anagram of Anne's own bed, a possible allusion to the bard's alleged will. He moved to Daventry assisted by Evan Anthony Cope, where Buglawton believes he was known as Sir Erasmus Dryden. John Dryden, the poet laureate, was either his son or his grandson. Another artist who broached the subject of ewer homophones and urinating was Peter Bruegel the Younger. This Bruegel painting is one of 2 similar paintings now owned by Buglawton. Now let us meet the Flemish philosopher, Justus Lipsius, who was a friend of British artist Peter Paul Rubens. He was known to have used the Latin expression ewer seca, burn and cut. In Spanish, seca is dry, so a dry ewer. Rubens was known to work jointly with Peter Bruegel, and Rubens' initials were PPR. A Dr. Robert Fludd created a set of mnemonic images to represent each letter of the alphabet. Here's PPR. It should be immediately apparent that there is a definite theme of ewers emerging, some even having a tail. One euphemism for urination is PP, and this would certainly not have escaped the bard's attention. Let us now turn our own attention to a play whose author, up to this point at least, has been somewhat of a mystery. Author John Casson thought the play was based on a play, Amleth, the English version of it being History of Hamlet. It doesn't take a genius to work out that Amleth and Hamlet are anagrams of the lamb. Let us now turn our attention to a peculiar anecdote about astronomer Tycho Brahe and Johannes Kepler. Tycho Brahe was allegedly affected by delaying urinating, using his manners, whilst dining with Kepler. The observatory that Tycho Brahe allegedly constructed was named Uraniborg U by Brahe in honor of Urania, the Greek god. Let us now look at the history of Nantwich and in particular, the Great Fire of 1583. Chichi's mansion was one of the few buildings to survive a fire which burned down most of the town. Allegedly, during the fire, live bears were let loose by the landlord of the bear inn, who used to host bear baiting in the town. Returning to Dr. Robert Fludd, the Rosicrucian creator of the iconic alphabet, who argued with Kepler about scientific knowledge. He lived in the town of Bearsted in Kent, but was raised by his father Thomas in St. Martin's in Shropshire. Thomas Fludd was a treasurer for Queen Elizabeth in the Netherlands. St. Martin's is only about 13 miles from Shocklatch. A William Meredith MP replaced Thomas Fludd and dealt with Thomas Fanshawe, whose son Sir Henry purchased Shocklatch. Connecting Sir Roger Wilbraham, John Dod, and Dr. Robert Fludd via the town of Nantwich, Bears and Salt, appears plausible. Dr. Fludd is coincidentally an anagram of Dorfold, the name of the estate Roger Wilbraham built his house on. Of course, all these correlations could be pure fluke. That is, if there were not many more such correlations identified in the book. There is much more evidence leading to Shakespeare's true identity in the book available on Shopify. Thank you for watching. Please look out for the next video in this sequence.